Oh, put it away a bit. God. Right. Hello, it's me again. Okay, right, so what's going on? Oh, okay. Push it back a bit further. Is that better? Right. I thought, right, tarot card reading for the collective, to just see what the general energies are, where this is going. Because I think at this point we're all here thinking, is this going somewhere? It's one of my subscribers said to me, sometimes I feel like this is like carrot on a stick thing, and yeah, I'm with you. Really with you, because I feel the same way sometimes. It's like, oh, I can't take anymore. I've had enough, And just doing my my little videos I did this morning about organic portals, it did occur to me as well. There's always more to a situation, than that. But there's just it's complex, it's insidious, and it's of course when you look at the powers that be, they're organic portals, like Donald Trump's an organic portal, and Ronald Reagan's an organic portal, and all these people doing all these really evil things, across the boards in Hollywood and in corporations, and the people doing the fracking, and the people doing the chemtrails, and the people operating the drones, and you name it. 99.9% they're going to be organic portals, because the virus works through them. They're minions, and they do the work of darkness, It's funny because my other half he's a gardener, and he was doing the garden on Friday, somewhere in Plymouth, and right next to that house where he's doing the garden, there is a housing development. So they're building all these houses, and they're horrible things, ticky-tacky houses, again, like that song I did at the very beginning when I started to do my videos, little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky. Well, they're like that, and then the company that started building them somehow, I think, ran low on money, so they couldn't pay their people, so they all went on strike, and now they've got these other guys there, and they're getting a fraction of what the other guys were getting, so they're all on minimum wage. Always a great motivator to do great work. Not. And anyway, Stephen's been keeping an eye on all that going down, and he knows a bit about building and stuff, and they're badly built houses, and they want so much, a ludicrous amount of money for these houses, and the only types of people that are going to be buying these houses that have no gardens, tiny windows, plastic cladding on the sides and whatnot, the only types of people that are going to be buying houses like that are going to be really dumb people. And a lot of organic portals are really stupid people that never question anything. They're just like, like traffic wardens, really the good law-abiding citizens, informing on their fellow human beings to the police, and that sort of thing. There's just so much to it, really. I don't even think that at this point it merits talking about anymore, really, because at the end of the day, I don't know it all, and maybe this whole organic portal thing, maybe they do have souls, maybe they're just really young souls, but it is my belief, my feeling rather, that they are soulless, because like I said, they don't change at all, really. And a lot of them really do take pleasure in hurting and harming and deceiving and undermining the truly souled human beings. And again, you know, as long as we can utilize that to our advantage, and therefore the advantage of the light, we can't really lose, you know. Anyway, so I was perusing my Marielle Tarot earlier and tuning in as I do, and I got these cards, and the first card I got was the Tower. Very uplifting and wonderful, and it always cheers me up. Not. So I'll show you the Tower. There it is, see? Oh, is that, do you see that the other way around? You probably do. Never mind. Look, it looks pretty nice. There's a great big blaze going there, you know, which is just about right. I mean, I went into the charity shop today because I saw this nice throw, which I'm sitting on. It's very nice. For the sofa, and that was great. But then of course I managed to knock over a rail of clothes, a basket full of crappy plastic sunglasses, and stepped on this old woman's foot. I mean, it was chaos. You know, so it's still really sketchy out there, you know, and it actually feels as if the world around us is disintegrating. I actually think it is. Reality is coming undone. Now this is good. This is good. This is good. We want that. We want it all to be, you know, yeah, we want it to dissolve because it's no bloody good. It's banal. It's boring. It's bland. You know, it really is. It's like, you know, most of the time, I just can't be bothered anymore, really. You know, we're all just going through the motions every day of, you know, you've got to do what you have to do to survive. You've got to put food on the table, and you've got to earn the money to buy the food to put on the table, and all the money you earn basically goes straight back to the people who gave it to you in the first place. Do you know what I mean? It's all bullshit. There's so much more to this reality that is, it's just one long... Imagine you say bullshit, but you say it forever and ever and ever and ever. It never ends. That would be this reality. It's just bollocks. So imagine that it is disintegrating. That would be the Tower, you know, because it disintegrates all around us. You know, we're beginning to notice all the high strangeness, all these weird, inexplicable things that just don't make any sense. Like, people are dumber than they have ever been before. I mean, there's always been, you know, you know that 100 is the average IQ, which isn't great. But nowadays, it's as if a very large section of the population actively suffer from learning difficulties. I mean, is it something they put in the water? I don't know. And this sounds really judgmental, but you know, there is a difference between harsh judgments and simple witnessing, noticing, discerning what the hell is going on around you and putting that into words, because, you know, guys, it is what it is. You know, it just is. And yes, the tower, people, it's all coming down. It's coming down. It's falling apart and it's coming down within us. All around us, and other salt people who are also going, you know, so hey, welcome to the insane asylum, you know, where's the Thorazine? Woohoo! So what do we have next? We have the Knight of Swords, you know. Now that owl looks a bit funky. That owl looks as I feel. You know, the King of Swords, all the swords, you know, they're very mental, very cerebral energy of the swords. The Knight of Swords is rather an impetuous sort of energy, but it's not fiery energy, it's more sort of mental energy. It's the mind doing overtime, you know, it's like tick, 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 typical virus, you know. The mind is always full of doubt, and it's always full of fear, and it's always doing the whole risk assessment thing, isn't it? And the mind is always telling you that you're shit and you're going to fail and the world is doomed. We're like lemmings heading for the cliff and all of that shit. But at the same time, you know, a knight is a value. It's not even a word. Prince Valiant. Do you remember Prince Valiant? Sorry if I'm not making any sense and I'm talking absolute rubbish, just, you know, bear with me. Yes, Prince Valiant, the Knight of Swords. Because it's all getting a bit much in here, right? Isn't it? And at the same time, you know, we need to take an heroic stand and to know deep within us that it's bullshit. It's the father of lies, people. We know this. We know this. We always know this, even when we're in the middle of this storm. But it's that we don't always feel it, you know, and that's where it gets us, isn't it? When you feel this, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm so terrified, I don't think I'm going to be alright. And you can feel it in your gut, and you wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, you know. And yet, you know, in this card, the Knight of Swords rides an owl through the sky. And owls, of course, are, well, creatures of wisdom, supposedly. It's a symbol of wisdom. It's a symbol of seeing through all the bullshit to the truth at the center. That which is being obfuscated. You know, truth is always being hidden in this realm, but it's there, it's there. But, you know, only those who can see will see it, obviously. You know, mental clarity is coming. Is coming. This craziness that we've been through is beginning to settle down a little bit. And it's bringing us to this card, Temperance. Right? Temperance. Yes. Temperance is all about finding a little bit of balance and a little bit of harmony. It's about finding your still center. Sometimes we can't do that. It's very difficult and you can't do it. And if you're really in the, you'll have a voice in there beating you up. You beat yourself up over not being able to find your center, because you should be able to find your center, but I can't do it, oh my god, you know. But inevitably you get to the point where, yes, okay, I can find it again. You find your footing again, you know, yes, you can feel the ground underneath your feet, and oh, a little bit of stillness comes back. And you know that you're beginning to come out of this massive purging period, you know, of this massive detox period. And that is good. And Temperance is a card telling us that we are now going to be starting to feel a little bit more balanced, a little bit more harmonized, and a little bit more peaceful, which is great. And then Seven of Swords, which I love this card. You know, look at that artwork. Isn't it stunning? I mean, it's just incredible. Really is beautiful. Now this card has this big raven, which seems to have flown up out of the blackness. It's surrounded and circled by a white snake. Look, it's this white snake. And it's got this beautiful green gem in its beak. And in the background there is the light, you know, the sun is coming up. Just there, you know, like, look. So what that means, well, I think it's actually pretty self-explanatory, of course, because that bird has been in the place where the sun don't shine. We have all been in the darkness, and we've found something of great value there, and we are bringing that up with us as we emerge back into the light, which is fantastic. Aces, oh sorry, no, it's a 7. I thought it for some reason it was the Ace of Swords. No, it's a 7 of Swords, but yes, good. The Serpent is about wisdom again, but also about healing. And ultimately, this is why we dive as deep as we do within ourselves, to find and shed light on these aspects of our self, our shadow self, you know, that need to be released and healed, you know, and in that process, you know, we learn a lot about ourselves, our own determination, our own courage, our own strength, our own powers of endurance, you know, and sometimes the effect comes later. So some time goes by, sometimes days, sometimes weeks, and then you think, wow, I got so much out of that. And maybe this green gem is a bit like that. Gradually we begin to realize how much we've gained, you know. And then we have the Ace of Wands. Always a great card to have. I love the Wands, you know. I mean, I know this lady does not look well. She does not look well. Look, where's her head? Oh, goodness me, she does not look well. But it is a fantastic card. The Ace of Wands, it's all about new beginnings, you know. But fire burns. Fire is, well, it's very hot, it's intense, you know, it's impetuous. Again, there's all this stuff going on, which gives rise to a new beginning, you know. New ideas, new ways of being, new discoveries about ourselves and the world around us, new insights, new vistas, new horizons. I feel we are beginning to get somewhere here. You know, it's been so long. It's for a lot of us, it's been years, hasn't it? It's been years, you know, and for me, I mean, if it hadn't been me keeping my journals, you know, writing stuff down, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't even, you know, because you find you're often in such a fugue state, so foggy that you can't even remember, you know, how far you've gone. But, you know, I keep a journal and I go back and I see what I was like a year ago or even 3 months ago, you know, and it's like, wow, I've made a lot of progress, you know, and it is good to know. The next card is the Chariot. Cool, cool, cool. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Look. I love that card as well. Now the Chariot again is it's a card, it's a major arcana card, so it's a powerful energy. It's one of things picking up a pace, you know. It's like you'll be arriving sooner rather than later, you know, which is very, very good. Because it's been like, come on people, you know, we need to start seeing some developments of the positive kind, you know, fruits of our labour, harvest time. The next card is the Queen of Wands. Right. Now, I never really liked the conventional explanation, as it were, of the court cards, because well, it's just a bit banal to me. But that is in the Marielle Tarot, you know, she calls this card, she mentions a witch, a shapeshifter, a shaman. Now, that to me is very apt in this reading and in this time, because we are shaman. All of us are, you know, all the Phoenix people are. We may not have been trained from birth in the jungle, but life itself has trained us to be witches. Male witches, female witches, doesn't matter. You know, the next card is this card, which is the Empress, right? Now, for me, the Empress means the great mother, the great spirit, the great mystery, that which gave birth to all that is. And that power, that force, that being, is what knows us intricately and personally, and it is that which has brought us through this journey, has brought us on this journey, has touched us, woken us up, and said, I'm going to take you on this journey. I'm going to, you are my initiate, you know. So We are shaman, we are witches, we are shapeshifters, we are alchemists, we are wizards, we are the mavericks. This is my little boy, hello. I went to the fish and chip shop today and I got them a fish and they loved it. They loved it, didn't they? Yes, they did. They did. They had a bit of cod. So, you know, rather than, you know, when you live in an indigenous society, and maybe when you're 3 or 4 years old, the medicine man or the medicine woman looks around and says, "Oh, I left that one," and you're taken away and you go on this initiation, which will last you, many, many years. The same thing has happened to us, only our initiation ground was the world that we lived in. And many of us have had very difficult lives, incredibly difficult lives, devoid of love, support, nurturing, nourishment. My God, we've been through so much. Our whole life has been the initiation to prepare us, to do something incredible. So we get to this card, Justice. It's a lovely card, isn't it? That picture is a bit like, the Egyptian goddess Ma'at, M-A-A-T, Ma'at, which is she always has a pair of scales, I think, and these wings, great big wings, and she is the goddess of balance and equilibrium, because justice, or Ma'at, is all about balance, and it's all about harmony. And that is ultimately what Reset is all about. Balance is not about, 50-50, it's black and white, it's 50-50. This world hasn't got a bloody clue about balance. Balance is, well, what I've seen anyway, is it utilizes left and right. It utilizes dark and light in such a magical way as to achieve incredibleness, magic and miracles, the fluid world. Now, that is what we want. We want to go back to, we want to go home. We want to go home. Home is a little bit like, that film, What Dreams May Come, with Robin Williams in it. What Dreams May Come. It's interesting. Watch that film sometime if you can. It's a really good film. See, I've seen Home, and I will not be able to put it into words, which is a pity. But suffice it to say that it's a place of such great beauty and such great amazingness, a place of complete communion, complete belonging, complete love and flow, incredible creativity, and just being with people that you know and who know you, and to know that you belong and that you are wanted and that you are loved and that you give that back in return, and there are plants and animals in colours that I've never seen, and you can walk on water, or you can jump up and walk into the sky if you like, it's an incredible world, and that is the real world. There is nothing like this awful abomination that we have been experiencing. This world is like it's an abomination, and it's very, very wrong. So anyway, this is the last card, which is very apt. The Fool. Right? The Fool, typically is the first card in the tarot. It's the hero's journey, as it were. You set out on this journey. But in this spread here, it means that after the Tower and all that misery we've just been through and all this virus and mental, and then finding our center again and realizing that yes, we've been through a really, really difficult thing, but we've got something precious we've brought back with us. And then there is this sense of renewal and rebirth, which is beginning to take on momentum, and we're beginning to find our abilities and our true self, and we are beginning to be able to love unconditionally more and more, you know. And then we start to find balance, and then something happens, something that we perhaps something will happen in such a way that we just can't really conceive of it and get our heads around it, because our heads are still too used to this world, you know, and there's still a kind of incredulity as to what is possible, what isn't possible, what is real, what isn't real, and our imagination is still somewhat hampered, you know, and stunted after having been here for so long. Because what is imagination? Is it memory, perhaps? We use imagination to get back home. Maybe it is a key of some sort. I'm just, you know, putting it out there. Anyway, that's it for today. That is the tarot card reading for today. I think the little one here liked it. Didn't you, darling? Yes, you did. Next time I'll get him to do the tarot card reading, because he's pretty good, you know. To look. He's not in a photogenic mood, isn't? So, well, people. So, wherever you are, now take heart, and it's not gonna go on and on and on forever. It will end. It will, you know, there will be breakthrough. We will get through the eye of the needle and the gateway to home. That will happen. And yeah, we've done the work, you know. We should give ourselves a great big pat on the back, because we've done very well, and I'm very proud of us all. I am. Oh, Lordy. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, I'll get going now. I will get going, and yes, my heart and my love is with you all. Take care. Bye bye.